Hey there, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to learn prefixes for English words, and this is going to be a three-part series of prefixes, suffixes and root words. The importance of learning prefixes and suffixes is that you can guess the meaning of the word without actually knowing the word. Now, this is useful in sections such as reading and listening, where you come across words that you haven't so far, and you have to understand the whole audio or the passage and answer questions based on that, right? So, knowing that these prefixes exist and the meaning of these prefixes will make it easier for you in your IELTS test. So let's get started with today's video and understand the different types of prefixes. Now, the first type of prefixes is English prefixes, and these are very easy to understand, something that you're seeing on your screen right now. So the different kinds of prefixes are here. So let's look at them one by one. Now, when you add a in front of something, you're trying to say that it is on or in. So when you say aboard, someone has boarded a flight or a bus. Ashore means on the shore. Now, when you say be, it means next to something, which is beneath or beside. For, which means before something. So when before an event happen, you can actually tell what is going to happen. So the examples are very direct: foretell, forecast. Now, when you say miss, it indicates that you're wrongly doing something. So this is a misfit, misunderstood, misstep. Okay, and when you say over, something over and beyond a certain step, which is overview, overcharge, overflow. Okay, un is a prefix that indicates opposite of something, or something that indicates a reverse of a certain action, like untrue, not true. Untie, the opposite of tie. Uninterrupted means the opposite of interrupted. Under is beneath something. So underground, understated, all of these are examples that indicate below a certain level. Okay, so that's with English prefixes. Now, the next kind of prefixes are Latin. Now, mind you, there are so many other prefixes than the ones that you're looking at your screen right now, but I just picked prefixes that belong to some commonly used words in the English language. By commonly, I mean they're great words for your vocabulary score as well, but it's just that we don't really come across the other prefixes as much as the ones that you see on the screen right now. Okay, so let's start with the Latin prefixes. Let me explain the meaning just like what I did for English. AB or A or ABS means something that's away from something. Now, abuse, absent, abscond means go missing, abysmal means bad. All of these are examples with these prefixes. Now, ante, A-N-T-E, A-N, or anti or anti means before a certain event. Again, this is very similar to for that we learned, but this indicates someone who is first in a certain set of people. Now, anti or an A-N-T-I means or indicates a person or a thing or an event that occurred before a list of other events. For example, anticipate means to guess or predict something before an event happens. Ancestor is someone who belongs to a previous generation. Antecedent also indicates an event or also a person who comes before someone else. Now, these are examples with anti. Now, let's take a look at the next one, which is contra or counter means opposite. Counterintuitive, anything that's not easily understood. Contradict means to oppose a certain thought. Counterfeit means anything that's fake, opposite of reality. Okay, the next one is DE, which means to go down or to decrease in a certain level. Examples, very simple: descend, decrease, dethrone. So when you say aboard, the opposite of that is to dethrone. So that's an example with the prefix DE. Now, the next one is extra. Extra, outside of something. It means extraordinary, extravagant, anything that exceeds a certain limit. The next one is ex. Ex is to come out of something, extract, explore, export, extend. All of these are examples with the prefix ex. Now inter is among people or among a few options. So interchange, interact, intervene, interlude, all of these are examples with the prefix inter. Now male or mal indicates ill. Now this is different from mis, which we learnt in the English prefixes, but mal means ill, malfunction, not functioning properly, maleficent, not working properly, malnourished, not nourished properly. Post and pre and re are most commonly used Latin prefixes, and all of these examples that you see, I'm sure you know the meanings of these words. Post means something beyond a certain level, pre is something before a certain event, and re is to redo the whole event. Super is very similar to over that we learned earlier. Superficial, superfluous, supercharged, all of these are examples with the word super. Now trans also is a commonly used Latin prefix which indicates a cross. So transmit is to go from one person to another. So I transmit diseases. Transcend is to cross borders. Transcend. That's an transform is to change from one form to another. That's transform. Transport, move from one place to another. That's transport. Transient, that moves from one state to another. That's transient. Okay? Alright, so that's with Latin prefixes. Let's now understand some Greek prefixes. Now with Greek prefixes, the ones that you see on your screen are also commonly used words. There are many more such Greek prefixes. So what I'm going to do with the word list is that I'm going to add all of the prefixes that exist and give it to you as a PDF. So you can download the PDF in my video description. But right now, let's just understand these Greek prefixes. Before we continue, make sure you like, share and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so here are the Greek prefixes. The first one is a or an, which is very different from the English prefix that we learned. So a or an means without or not. So apathy, anarchy. Apathy is anyone who does not have interest in what's going on. Anarchy is a garment that has disorderliness within it. Okay, and die means twice. If you're choosing between two options, then you use the prefix die. An example word, dilemma, indicates a situation where you can't choose between two options that you have. Dia is a prefix that indicates through, and it means example words are dialogue, diagonal or diagnose. Diagnose means to inspect a certain body part or a machine for defects. Dialogue is a conversation happening between two people. Diagonal is any line that connects two corners, right? The next one is dys, which is very similar to mal. The Latin prefix mal indicates badly. Dysfunctional, dyslexia, not functioning properly or not being able to read or write properly. Epi indicates something that's close to something or something that's a cover, an outer cover to something. Like an epilogue, epidermis, epidemic, epicenter, these are examples with the prefix epi. Homo is anything that indicates similar, any two features that are same. So homogeneous, homogamy, homophobic, homonym are all examples with the word homo. Now, hyper means over and beyond, very similar to the English prefix super, hypermarket, hypertension. All of these indicates that something that's over and beyond a certain market. That's hypermarket. Now, hyper indicates anything that's over and beyond a certain level, very similar to the English prefix super. So hypermarket is anything that's more than just a market. Hypertension means that your blood vessels have really high tension, your blood pressure is really high. That's hypertension. Okay, hypersensitive, anybody who is more than sensitive, extra sensitive to some issue. That's hypersensitive. Now, pan indicates all levels, at all levels. Panoramic, it means a 360-degree view of what's happening. That's panoramic, right? Okay, so last prefix for today is SYN, SYM, SY, SYL, which indicate togetherness. So synchronous, anything that happens together, two events or two machines that are running at the same time. System, that contains a lot of smaller pieces that are running together to maintain a bigger piece. Now, sympathy means you are able to understand what the other person is going through and you're kind of taking it on yourselves. These are some examples with this prefix. Alright, so that's the end of this lesson and I hope you understood the meaning of some important prefixes. I'll see you guys with another video of suffixes and we'll understand how that changes a meaning to a certain word. Like prefixes, suffixes also have three types: English, Latin and Greek, and there are many of them. Okay. So I'll see you guys in another video then. Bye bye, have a good day and make sure you're practicing consistently.